welcome to the second episode of Conversations with PureHeart. I am your host, I would guess, Connie Jordan. Now, what I didn't realize to mention in the first video was I am actually taping this from PureHeart's Andrew's bedroom. So you'll see the spirit portrait of him in the back that Roger Hansen did before we ever met him. Andrew came through to Roger in January of 2012, and we didn't meet Roger until April, and he lives in London, and we met him in Florida. So that was really, how you don't believe that there's more than this is beyond me. Not you, because you're watching this, but people in general. So I am taping this from Andrew's room. Just a little FYI. So today's topic is a conversation I had with him a while ago. I was on the treadmill, and remember I said that I tend to get messages from him when I'm driving, on the treadmill, in the shower, and other times. So my mind was just kind of wandering about, his leaving and this whole death thing, and what is that? What is really death? I was really kind of pondering that, and Andrew says to me, death is just a continuation of what has always been. And I thought, yeah, you're right. And of course I got a duh. But think about that. Death, what we consider death, is a continuation of what has always been. We go back to where we spend most of our time as a soul, as a spirit. That's our normal state of being. This lifetime is just, I was going to say vacation. And I know there's a whole lot of us that don't think this is a vacation. But it's that, almost that time away. And again, oh God, this is going on to a whole other subject, which will be another video. But our whole essence of who we truly are isn't entirely in this body anyway. It's just a spark of who we truly are. Our higher self is still on the other side. So anyway, a while later, I'm in the car talking to Martin, and I thought I read this somewhere, and apparently the way it kind of, his head went, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to make sure I read that right. And guess what? I didn't read it anywhere. Whatever I was reading on a friend's Facebook post, I heard something different. I read something totally different. And again, it was Andrew. And what I got and what he was giving me is that this state of being that we are in, we think is being awake. Not even a little bit. What he shared with me was, when we go to sleep, that's when we're really awake. It's only the ego, that physical part of us, that is sleeping. Our soul never sleeps. That's why we have deja vu. That's why, we wake up feeling like we've been somewhere, or like we were in school, or that we were, is because we were. And I was talking to Martin because he's a hypnotherapist. I said, paranormal overachiever. And I said, so really when you think about it, when you do past life regressions, when you regress somebody, you're really waking them up. And that's when he had that moment, which I thought was funny. And he looked at me, he goes, what? I said, yeah. I said, if you stop and think, that's why we can remember so much under a regression. Because that's when we're really awake. Because the ego, we're putting the ego out. The ego goes under. But our spirit, and a lot of times, I guess sometimes it's, because you do remember at that point, so maybe there's a part of the ego, but that's when we are awake. So it's not being put under, it's not being put to sleep. All those things is when we really wake up. So when we cross over, I don't even like the word death, because it just is an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense. You're more alive than you've ever been when you leave this physical body. So when we cross over, that is when we're fully awake, because we are now integrated with our higher self. And like in Andrew in his journey home, and he was met by all these people that he didn't know this lifetime, but he recognized them. So when we cross over is when we become awake. How cool is that? So there truly isn't a death. This physical being, John Edward has said it, and it makes perfect sense. Well, I remember my first car, but this is just a vehicle we drive while we're here, and we have such an attachment to it that, we look at that when we leave here like we don't exist anymore. And I was even saying how there's almost like this, because people, not a lot of people, but some people, oh, you need to let your son go. Go where? Just because he doesn't have a body, he doesn't matter anymore here, or I can't have a relationship with him because he doesn't have a physical body? Well, that's a whole new, in this, as we evolve, that's a whole other new kind of discrimination now. If you don't have a body, you don't matter, so that's going to go into my comedy act at some point. So think about that. To me, when I hear that somebody's transitioning, yes, it hurts us here because we don't have them physically here, but I'm excited for them. That they're going to get to wake up and remember everything of who they are. All the grandeur, everything. So think about that. I know it's helped me in my grief process in Andrew moving forward and moving on. Again, I'm still in this human body, so I still want those hugs and kisses. So, I'm not saying deny that. But maybe if you can look at your loved one who's moved forward, who's moved on, remember, they left here, all they did was become awake. They returned to who they truly are. And you're going to get to do that too. So, try to think of it that way. And connect to them now. They're right there by your side. Don't discount those signs that they're giving you. That's coincidence. I've heard so many people, I wish I got signs like you did from Andrew. You do. You just got to pay attention and not be so stuck in what has to be here. There's just so much more. So that was the message this week. So yeah, me talking to you right now, sleeping, not even awake. And to think that when I go to sleep tonight, that's when I get to wake up. But there's a reason why we don't remember, which is a whole other video too, as to why we don't remember all this stuff. Well, then it kind of negates why we're here, right? Like in the last video. We just put these signs so to help us remember. So until next time, I'm going to leave you with one of Andrew's sayings on how we need to live our life. Martin had asked him, how do we need to live our life? And he was expecting this, big dissertation. And all Andrew said was, live your life with no regrets and die laughing. It's all good.